That's 8 in a row now for Max Verstappen. Can anyone hold the Dutchman's charge after the summer break? After a wet weekend in Spa, these are my driver ratings for the Belgian Grand Prix. We'll start things off with sprint race and Grand Prix winner Max Verstappen. He's going to get a rating of 4. Now, I'm marking him down, I say, because he's just got no competition, so he can't truly show all of his skill, but still delivering supreme performance. He started P6, was hardly ever likely to stop this winning run even from there. Sergio Perez, his teammate, gets a 3.5. He's back on form, a textbook second driver performance. Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari gets a 3. It was better from Leclerc and Ferrari. They held off Hamilton well on track and in the pit lane. And speaking of Lewis Hamilton, he also gets a 3. Probably the best on offer from Mercedes was that P4, and he nicked the point for fastest lap. Esteban Ocon rescued some pride for Alpine with a decent performance on Sunday. He gets a 3. He made his strategy work and he moved up 6 places. Lando Norris in the McLaren gets a 3. He battled the car setup, which was more for the wet than the dry, and claimed points when all seemed lost. And his teammate Oscar Piastri also gets a 3. His Saturday was incredible, finishing second in the sprint, but sadly his Sunday was much less impressive thanks to contact with Carlos Sainz. Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso gets a 3. Some sort of decent point scoring service resumed at Aston Martin, but it's not quite as much as they would have hoped for. AlphaTauri's Yuki Tsunoda also gets a 3, a top job from Yuki to grab the final point. George Russell in the Mercedes gets a 2.5. His qualifying wasn't good enough and he had an okay race. Pierre Gasly also gets a 2.5. He tried a one-stopper and it almost worked, but he did miss the boat for softs at the end, which might have paid dividends. Valtteri Bottas gets a 2 in the Alfa Romeo. It was better, but there was also no points for it. Lance Stroll gets a 2. It was okay from the Canadian, but the car was clearly capable of much better. Daniel Ricciardo gets a 2, a tough weekend which hinged on his quality time being deleted on Friday. Williams' Alex Albon gets a 2. He was tipped for points, but it just wasn't to be this weekend for Williams. And his teammate Logan Sargent gets a 2 as well. His confidence was dented after that P1 crash, but he did a tidy job thereafter. Ferrari's Carlos Sainz gets a 1.5. He was pinched at turn 1 and paid the price with damage, though I feel he was more to blame for instigating that incident. Zhou Guanyu gets a 1.5. It was a quiet weekend for the Chinese driver. And the Haas pair of Magnussen and Hülkenberg get 1.5s as well. Magnussen was anonymous again, and Hülkenberg started from the pit lane, but Haas just really struggled, and starting from the pit lane really didn't help. And all that means the average drivers table looks like this, where the order remains the same as it was last week. And in the bottom half, it also remains the same for the second week running. Let me know what you think of my ratings. Tell me which driver stood out for you in Belgium. Like this video if you enjoy it, share it with other people you think would be interested. Subscribe for more Grand Prix content, and thank you very much for watching.